Here, this ground, Valley of Elah, one of the most famous battles in, I would argue, human history. Who doesn't know the story of David and Goliath? How many times has Hollywood or other movies or TV shows borrowed off the idea of David and Goliath? Even we have this idea of the underdog, right? The story of the underdog. The story of the underdog really is the story of what happens in the Valley of Elah, where a giant Philistine warrior who was a warrior since his youth is going to stand against a 17-year-old boy without armor. So I asked the question, what do you feel when you're standing here? Like, what do you think about when you're standing here?
David really loved God.
Yes.
So I feel like,
You go first, Anna. I'm just calling them up.
yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. You can all hear me, right?
Yeah. So David didn't have to know Goliath's strength because he already knew God's.
Yes.
Yeah, keep them here until the bus.
Does it feel great to stand in a place where David fought Goliath though? Like this ground? Do we appreciate the fact that we're in the very place that many of us have heard this story so many times over and over again, and now you're actually standing in a field that has been relatively untouched and still has the geographical markers to tell us exactly that this is the location of the biblical narrative. Amma, if you would like to start presenting
Yes.
the evidence from the Bible.
Yeah, let's just read one verse
Does nobody know
from
this?
1 Samuel 17.
Yeah, of course.
But where's the car park where people? Do you know what I'm saying? When you go.
What did I say? Were you with you? I don't know if you were with me when we walked through David's tomb. You weren't with me.
Go on.
We think of David as such a beloved figure by what we say about him now and how he's viewed. But every step of the way, David was a man that was really recognized and underappreciated by the people of his time and even to us
I
this
was
day.
there. I was there when you said it. Yeah.
So he was rejected by his father. When David, when they're looking for a king, when Jesse comes, he doesn't even present David as an option. And so what man rejects, God has chosen. And God was raising up a shepherd boy to ultimately become king. But, David's brothers didn't see him as king. His father didn't really see him as king, even though he was anointed by Samuel in Bethlehem, which is this direction. Correct me if I'm wrong, Amma, but Bethlehem is in this direction behind us. Saul would be opposed to him. David's own sons would rebel against him. When David's an old man, they have to find another young woman to keep him warm in his bed. He had wives. And even his tomb today isn't even really acknowledged as his tomb, even though I think there's enough evidence to present in the city of David this giant empty tomb that's debated whether it's actually his resting place. But like you say, this is one of the greatest battles in our biblical narrative, and it's just a sight. Life goes on. And but I think King David's life is something that needs to be studied and understood. When you pursue God, when you're a man after God's own heart, when God gets the glory, then what's the shift? Your story is not about you either. And David is relatively forgotten in many ways, in his story and even after his story, despite the fact that all the nice things we say about him now. Okay, Amma.
Okay, we start with reading the first verse of the story to try to locate ourselves where we are.